Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's poker coaching study session. We're here with Larry, Sutton, and the gang, and we're going to study some poker. So let's go ahead and get started.
Thank you, Skate, ladies and gentlemen. That's the future influencer that is Skate or Die. So we're
Thank
going to go over some
you.
hands here and a trainer to start. And what we're doing is we are playing as a big blind. We are playing that the we called, we flatted free. Button B33, we called. We get the turn, we check. Button B75s, we call. That's where we are. And Sutton, oh, no, sorry, Derek, you're on, sir.
Okay. Next hand.
All right, you've got ace nine here.
So we turned no equity. So it went check on the flop, I assume, right? Is that what happened? No, it's 9 to
No,
flat.
so all of these hands, what's gonna happen is, you can kind of see it up here. I'll show you up here. So here, so we call, right, in the big blind. This is the
Right.
flop. We check. Now, you can see where my mouse cursor is. Button bets B33, we call. Then we get the turn, which is in this case the three of clubs, which you can see here. And then we check. Button big bets, big bets B75. And now the action is back on you, sir. You have to make a decision.
Well, the flop, like, we can have sixes here. And we can have threes.
Yeah.
So that looks good for us, right?
Yeah.
The queen helps the pre-flop raiser, but he's in the button, so his range is pretty wide.
Yeah, the paired board adds a little bit of a wrinkle to this hand. I agree.
Yeah. So, like, we have nothing. Pretty close to junk. Pretty good for nothing. But we're still in the junk phase. So the question is, like, our range has 6-3 in it. Maybe not. It can have sixes, but I'm going to fold this.
Good fold. We can mix some calls in because I think the paired board adds some
Yeah. Pairboard
interesting
gives us the right to make
texture
some
here, but we
calls.
mostly
Try
fold.
to take it away.
Could
on
you
the river.
show? Could you show what? Oh, could you show what he is supposed to bet on the turn?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
You want to know what he is betting on turn to the sizing?
Yeah, just in general strategy.
Sure. So turn here. He's using the B75. It's his most common bet sizing on this texture.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
And here's his range. We use this B75 with. Overpairs love it. Queens like it. Some
And
don't
how
bet.
much do you have like calling range on the flop? Would you show like flop calling range for a big blind?
On the flop,
Yeah, because we raise like small, like. Okay. Okay, thank you.
what's interesting here is that, to me, when I just look at this, is that we get to check raise king queen a lot.
King jack.
King jack, sorry, because we're
Yeah,
blocking queens.
it's like same logic with 5-7.
It's right down here. It's right in the middle of our range. Same logic as 5-7.
It's basically to get backdoor or something.
Same logic as 5-4. Well, I think it's blocker based. Um, Yeah.
No,
Okay.
like, no, like 4-5 or like 5-7. What is it blocking? Or
Say it
just
again.
like 5-7 is not blocking anything, right? Maybe it
Five,
blocks anything,
seven,
but
five.
yeah, 5-4 is not blocking anything.
Well, it's blocking 7-5 is blocking 6-7, and it's blocking 6-5.
Does button open 6-5 sweep up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oops. Okay. Another one for Derek.
Okay. So we have a
Straight flush
shitty
draw.
flush draw. We
Straight
have
flush draw, man. You got a straight flush gut shot.
yeah, straight flush draw. We have a
And
shitty
Jeremiah Williams says you've
straight
got
flush
80%
draw.
of a straight flush.
I think I'm letting this one go. Unless I think I'm early and I want to say gamble to try to double up.
What do you guys think? Do you think this is a fold, or do you think this we call it some frequency here?
I think it might be a small frequency call, but I think fold. I think if we had ace of spades, it would be, if it was ace of spades, 5 of hearts, I think it might
Yeah, it's a no brainer.
be right.
Yeah.
We could have fold, right?
Say it
I,
again.
I don't think we can fold. It depends, like, it's very weird how ranges are constructed here, but
It's a weird one. I think probably what the conclusion I come to, if everybody is of different opinions, is that we mix. Which is the case. We mix all three. This is like, it's always a good sign when, for me, it's always a good sign when when you're not sure and there's disagreement, and that aligns with what the solver's telling us. The one question we'll look at real quick is what's our ace of spades do? With the ace five? Do we get to go cray? So we have check raises here. Yeah, we do. We check raise at half the time. Magic draw / blocker that is the ace five.
The
This hand
magic
is very
ace-five.
cuspy. Notice we're not doing or pure fold without any kind of spade. This is a very cuspy hand. Alright. One more, Derek, and then we'll move on to
Yep.
the next victim.
Yep.
Okay. Bastard. You have a gutter.
Yep, we have a gut shot draw. We don't have odds for the gut shot, but maybe we think our king or our queen, we have 6 outs for that. Will he pay us off with 88 big blinds if we make our gutter? Probably not. I'm gonna fold this one too.
Yeah, I think this is a fold. The other thing to think about is that now that the 5 of spades has come, some of your outs are dirty, right? I guess, well, one of your outs is dirty. Now the 10 of spades is dirty. Mixes. But folding's fine. I think I would probably fold. We've got Joey as well. Hey, Joey,
Yo, what's up?
welcome to the group. Who wants to have a shot?
I'll try.
Okay. Skate in the house, the newest social media influencer on the scene.
Yep.
When's your
that's it.
first poker vlog?
It's in the works. I'm not sure.
That's right, man.
No,
We've
I'm,
got
I'm
the new, I mean, now that Brian DePaulo got fired by ACR, I think there's room for you in the social media influencer poker space.
yeah. There's my shot, my chance.
Exactly. All right. Good luck, Skate.
Thank you.
All right. You've got Turned equity, dude.
Mostly call, maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Mixing. I don't know. I actually don't know, but I don't know.
I think
Calling.
it's a call. I think you're right. Yeah, it's a call, but we could ignore, I think, the 4% check raise.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Any blockers here, sir? Or just check?
No, just check because he could still have some kind of pairish hand. So, well, we do have two pair essentially with ace high. Um,
These spots are always interesting.
yeah, this is but still, even I don't think we get to um, I okay. Let's go ahead and yeah, okay, yeah. I actually wasn't sure, but I was thinking check.
I'm sorry. I thought you were ready.
No,
Let's,
no, no.
he didn't bet this. I'm curious
Yeah, that's why.
on these double pair boards. What size do we call with our ace high? These are always interesting spots. So we check. How often does he bet here? So first thing to see is that he checks back a shit ton. To use a technical term. I don't think we're going to see a B80 that much. Essentially, I think it's choosing B80 because what's it going to do with its votes? It's going to bet B80. So B80 is where solvers bluff's going to come from too. Stuff like all over the board. It's a very interesting board. These double pair boards are interesting. Queen Jack, all this zero equity. Equity zero. Equity zero. He's going to bet down here. B80, which is going to match the top of his range, which is like both for the 10 quads. Okay, so but if he does bet B80, question is, well, let's just look at this a little methodically. So he does use B60 sometimes. I'm curious what kind of bet an ace high, the big blind can stand. So if he bets B60, we're gonna filter for ace high. Yeah, we're already indifferent. We're essentially flipping a coin here if he does a B60
On the river.
on the river. So if he bets B60 after we check, we're flipping a coin with ace high. If he bets B80, which is his most common bet size, we still need to hear it with some frequency. Yeah, I think I overcall here. I think a lot of people overcall him.
If so, like if he would bet, I think he checked right in the game, but
Yeah, he didn't go. He didn't. He chose not to bluff.
okay. So we have to call ace high in some portion. Maybe it has to do with the double paired board and stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at this because it's a double pair board, and I'm, not always sure how we're supposed to react to these when we have ace high, and it's because the solver doesn't know either. It's like flipping a coin essentially.
Yeah, this is good because like in game, like against good players, they're gonna those bluffs, right? So I guess we have to call more against them and maybe fold against population on the river.
Yeah, and plus this is a triple barrel too, right? So he bet flop, bet turn, bet river. So
True.
maybe against humans we can overfold. But we do have to call at some frequency, I think, in these situations. All right, another one. You
Oh wow.
sir, you turn the third nuts.
Yeah, the only thing we could do is just call. No, no raising, just calling.
Okay.
And now we just check. Yeah, check. I don't know why I think so much about these things. Yeah.
Streak of 10. Our study group is rocking it. Another one?
Sure.
You've got the nuts. You don't have the nuts, but you got damn close to the nuts. You've got
Whoa.
the
Yeah.
third nuts.
We have the third nuts. Well,
No, you have the fourth
po-
nuts, actually.
yep.
But he doesn't
Um,
have 4-2 suited.
True.
You got a
So,
you got a really hot shit hand, dude.
yeah, we could probably we
But
could
you
get some
chose to
raises
slow
here.
play.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. What size would you like to check raise?
let's see here. Let's go with the. We could probably go 50%, maybe.
Okay. Yeah, I think you're gonna. I think that this is going to check raise at a high frequency. I think we were looking at that. Maybe I was looking at this before. This ace obviously means he's got a lot of hands that need to call. This ace comes.
Yeah.
And so you've got a hand with like 95% equity. Maybe 90, who knows? But I think you do check raise this at a very high frequency in solver land. And I think B50 is fine.
And 80
No, just once.
No.
Well, we're not gonna break the solver, so we'll use this sizing. And you're not really losing that much EV. You're losing 200ths of chip.
But
But
Larry,
yeah, go ahead.
I think this is a spot to talk about. Because I think this is a spot that it's one thing in solver, it's another thing in real life. Like we talked about, if guys over c-bet in this button spot, when this ace hits, like we want to take advantage. We want to take advantage here. There are a ton of 2-pair combos. There are a ton of good ace-x combos that this guy is just going to never fold. And I think we want to size up because we need to be thinking about the river. Like we want all the money here. And the
Yep.
place that we have to think about getting all the money is on this turn. And if we B50 this, the pot becomes, the B50 size was about 20. It's going to be about 50 and our stacks are going to be about 80. And that's going to make it very difficult to get them all in. Maybe they will call a greater than pot bet. But if they are never folding the ace, whether we choose the B50 or the B100 sizing on turn. And then when we get to river, they are in a situation where they really don't want to fold for like a pot size bet or just under. And so I think in theory it's close, but in real life I think it is a dream.
I love dreams.
It's a good point.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. So
I don't think that
well spoken. Yes, well spoken.
Yeah, I see Arthur, I see your comment about buttons should overbet on the turn. I don't think you want to overbet this turn. This is like normally we think of overbetting in spots where the turn is pretty dudsy. And I rate this ace card not dudsy. Like it is going to be, it's too much of a good card, I think.
So I tried to draw what you're talking about here very
Mhm.
poorly, but essentially you're saying, the slow pay frequency here against humans should be a lot lower, and the fast play against humans should be a lot bigger.
Absolutely.
Like maybe we should even invert these numbers, right?
Mm,
Or even further. So this,
Probably.
we should check raise this 65% of the time and 75% of the time or whatever, and
And-
slow play 25%.
And especially in live poker where you see guys that are like they are limping a lot pre, and now they've chosen to take this open c-bet on kind of a crummy board. This ace hits, and now we've checked them again, and they continue to want to bet. Like something's going on here that they like, and
Yeah.
we've got a monster. Like, sometimes we're gonna get it all in and yeah, they end up with aces and that stinks. But a lot of times we're gonna get it all in and they have ace queen. They have ace jack.
So equities, and when our equity's this high, we just want to be able to get it in by river. So I see your point. I think it's good. I think your argument is that we fast play this at a much higher frequency than solver. And we use a 2e sizing so that when we get to river, we've got, as you said, less than a pot size bet left.
Yep. I throw balance completely out the window.
Balance lulls.
Exactly.
What's
Because like
balance?
my opponents don't even think about shit like that. They're just watching the hockey game. So
Yeah, and I mean, I think, humans are going to be much less capable. Well, let's just take this line out of curiosity. So let's see. So then we choose this size, right? Well, for shits and giggles, we're going to give it a randomized. He calls. He's calling with most of his aces. We'll give it, I don't know.
Look at solver is folding ace queen when we check raise here, but human is not.
Yeah, that's the point. So let's go look. So we raise. It's very large sizing here. Ace high. We got button. So it's two pair.
Top. Yeah.
Where's the top pair? Let's get that top pair. Top pair. Okay. Yeah, so it's folding half the time with its best aces. Except for his aces that have a gut shot.
But that's not,
And so your point is, if we just look at this portion here with humans, this is going from, this is probably folding 70% of the time. To like folding 20% of the time, maybe 0.
hmm
And so we
And
should
the flip
fast play
side-
at a higher frequency.
the flip side to this here is if we find ourselves in the position of having ace king on this turn card and we take this line, we should fold. We should fold a lot. Because like these passive villains they're not doing this with the single pair. They're not doing it with what, like ace 10. Not happening. And so, I was talking to another group. If you find yourself on the turn being asked to put in more money because somebody's raised you and you have a single pair hand, you aren't going to do too much wrong to fold. Like, I mean, there'll be spots, but
Yeah, you're right.
probably better off.
Like, humans aren't finding this with 8-6, right? You aren't
No.
finding this with the open ender that often.
No way.
And those are our main bluffs here. Yeah, I agree. Fold early, exit early.
This is a good hand though. I think this hand and the lessons that we see on the turn can yield a lot of profits. We don't
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
be scared on the turn. Don't be scared on the turn, especially when you're just super thick with value. Get it going.
Well, I think the thing that people are scared of is losing a customer, right? And we're making the argument that you have to pile it in.
Mhm.
This is a 1 in 200 hand, 1 in 300 hand opportunity. You just have to pile
Yeah,
it
I mean, just go. Let's finish this out because it's gonna the way this thing finishes is gonna be kind of interesting. Because we
Okay.
haven't played the river yet, right?
Okay, so
So keep it with the B50. Keep it with the B50.
all right. Skate, we're back on you, sir. You got quads.
All right. To size up or not to size up? That is the question.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and mix 27 and 38, 39 EVs with mostly 39. Okay.
Okay. I think you're gonna have some shoves here, and I'll tell you why. I think you do.
Okay.
Because this 7 reduces your frequency of sets to
Okay.
only one combo of 7s, which you just happen to have.
Sure.
I think Button likes this card with this ace, king, ace, queen, and so you can get more calls. But it might use this sizing too. Yeah, it likes shove, I think, because
yes,
this 7 looks good to button in solver land because it reduces your frequency of sets. Reduces your, actually, technically, it reduces your combinations of 7s to a single combination.
Yep. So in conclusion, I'm still not sizing up enough.
Yeah, yeah. Quads have this special quality where they just go for it because they're unblocking his calls, and you know, and this I think is a case where it reduces your frequency of shoves. But this
Okay.
is fine. You're
So
targeting a different part of his range here.
okay. So if like the 7 was like any other card, well except a deuce, then maybe the shoves start. I don't have as many shoves.
Let's find out. Notice when we were looking at it before, he had one of the aces that can call. It's always calling in theory because it has a gut shot. It can improve.
Yeah.
Okay, so your question is, if we don't make 7s, we have more of a blank river.
Yeah.
Does our frequency of shoves go down? My theory is that it does. So here, we go back here, 7. 7. We're gonna make this like the 9 of hearts. It's pretty bricky, me like a 10 hearts.
Yeah.
And here you are. And your sets. No, your sets are still shoving.
Yeah.
You're still shoving.
But I think so. We're shoving, and notice, but it's almost 2x pot here, which, you know, maybe it's good, but I think in reality, we want to make it so that guys are feeling like they must call.
Well,
with their top pair.
we'll take this a different line just to show. So right now, our SPR is close to, it's like 1.7, whatever. It's almost 2x pot, right? Our SPR is almost 2. It's like 1.7. So let's make this big size, right? We actually showed that he called. His combo, billing combo is 4 with the gut shot, and he's supposed to call that. So he call.
Called the offsuit side too.
With the gut shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll just give it the same card just for fun, because how often do you make quads? And now look at the SPR, it's 1. And so let's just shove it. And now that we have this SPR, in theory, what is he supposed to call? And then we'll talk about maybe human adjustments. So the obvious thing to look at first for button is top pair. And top pair, which is 2 pair, right? Or whatever. And he's supposed to mix now that it's less. So like the ace queen that he did call, he's gonna now flip. And you're gonna make a shit ton of money. So Sutton's argument is that we do really want to use the bigger sizing. And I don't do it enough, frankly. Right? So right here, he bets. I should not really think about it this way, but I think of multiple of bet size, which is the thing you're supposed to do it. But he bets 6. Pot is here is 9. And so I think of this as a 3x pot bet. I don't use this enough. I can definitely use this more. And obviously this is a situation where we can do it. And Solver likes to do it with sets a lot because it's unblocking everything that the imposition player has, I can call. All right. One more to the skate.
All right. Yep.
That was a good one.
You just doubled up, dude. So,
Awesome. All right.
okay, so you called this, which is, and then you get this B75.
Yeah. Yeah. Bottom pair. I think I'm with sudden two. Fold. Yeah, fold for sure.
Fold.
Final answer. Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is fold. Call it low frequency, but fold. Can't really. I think we're calling on river because we had gut shot. Our backdoor wheel. All right. So anybody who hasn't taken a shot want to take a shot? Artur, you want to take a shot?
Yeah, I can.
All right, cool. Top pair,
Alright.
sir.
Yeah, I thought we raise was maybe we call some like on the flop. So now we have to raise, no?
Well, it's your show. You get to decide.
Like, hmm. Yeah,
So,
let's call them. I
yeah, I
don't know.
think we don't.
What do you think?
I think we don't. So I think that these pairs, good hand, but I think it doesn't have as much value at this stack depth, this SPR. You know, we're not ready to stack off with the king jack here at 100 big. So I think we just call. I think your call is correct.
Mm-hmm.
But that does take into question, where does the threshold go for our value check raising? And let's look at that real quick. So let's just ignore
Yeah.
bluffs, right? So we're not gonna look at bluffs. We're just gonna look at value check raises. And where do those originate from? And I'm going to cheat and use the breakdown. So I'm gonna filter for best hands, good hands. And then I'm gonna filter for, I'm gonna ignore the small. We only like to use the big size here for some reason. And then I'm gonna do this, put them in classes. So here we can see, this is like, it's mostly our straights and our sets, right? So our straights and our sets are our primary check raise here. So 9-8, oops. In all the different varieties, 9. So we're almost check raising pure, I think, with 9-8 that can improve to a flush. Which is interesting because maybe we run on block, but straights are there. And our sets are doing high frequency. And then our two pair mix. Let's go back here and look. So clear, straights, pure check raising, sets, almost pure check raising on this texture. And our top two pair, which improved on turn, our check raising. Okay, so
I think one thing else also to think about here on this turn is like, in reality, maybe we get here with some like king 10 that wants to raise this turn. But when we forego the opportunity to check raise this flop, I think that it really limits our range. Like if we have 6s or 7s or king 7 or king 6 on this flop, we are pretty incentivized to put in the check raise. So now when the 10 shows up, it really limits what we can have. It's almost like king 10 becomes the only check raise for value that we have.
8-9, right?
But 8-9, like we're gonna check raise that too at a pretty high frequency on this board. I mean, I mean, if we're gonna value check raise this flop a lot, we're gonna have 8-9 is probably gonna, for me, is gonna be a common check raise. And so when I go check call on this flop and the 8-9 hits, do I have the straight very often?
So is your argument that we're check raising high freak with top of range on flop because of the dynamic nature of the board?
Yes, and I maybe different people are doing this, but I think this is, I ran into a spot the other day which was kind of similar to this, and I had decided to check raise turn. And then as I was like evaluating the hand in replay, I'm like, I don't really have a whole lot of value when I get to this turn when I check call flop. Like, and
see.
part of it is I've been studying like a lot of Hungry Horse stuff.
Mhm.
And his case is on this flop texture, if you don't get check raised, you're looking at single pair at best hands. And I think that's pretty true when I play too, right? Like I'm going to call with a lot of single pair hands like the one I have right here. And so it's
And so, okay, you call one pair and on the river he jumps like 10x spot, or what does he do? Like,
oh, I mean, if you jam 10x pie, you just fold.
Okay, so let's just look here. So the argument is that we should have a pretty robust check raising. Yeah, we do. We have 12%, which is, I think towards the upper barrier. I, see anywhere from 10 to 20%. So, what are we check raising? So these are check raises. They're going to, well, let's do it this way. Because, okay, we can see this in equity band, right? In the city graph. Very top of range, which is our sets. Yes, we are check raising at a very high frequency. Our two pair. So let's just look at that as a filter here. Now, this is just sets. We are check raising more than we're calling. And two pair continues that. So yeah, we do check raise. We do fast play a lot here.
And like the important thing for us to be thinking about here is, yes, I see green here with king 6, right? And I
Yeah.
see some green with 7-6. But when I construct my range, do I have any portion of king 6 that's choosing to flat on this board? Probably not. Like, just probably not. And like that kind of is a difference that we have to consider between what the machine is doing and what we're doing.
Yeah.
I
in-game.
hate king 6.
There's that too.
King 9 I can get behind, but king 6, yeah.
Did king 6 like crash into your car and have no insurance? Why do you have a personal animosity towards king 6? Yeah, you like it, right? You got two pair. So yeah, I see your point. Yeah. And I think Solver bears out your theory. Solver bears out your argument that we are fast playing top of range on this board texture, which is quite dynamic, where there's a lot of different turns. I mean, this turn is a perfect example. This turn brings in the flush draw and brings in a straight. So we are fast playing this. The top of range and the 9-8, as we mentioned, is especially with on flop, the back door and front door is check raising at a high frequency. All right, so we're going to call here on this turn. It's pretty bricky. I assume you're going to check.
yeah.
Oh, I made you.
Another.
I owe you an apology. You are donking this at a high frequency. This is surprising. I don't know why this 4 allows us to donk at such a high frequency. I guess the answer is just exactly this. He's going to check back marginal value. Well, he's going to fold that. Alright. Another one. Let's go forward. Top pair, Artur.
I mean, this is no brainer check raise now, but like in cash, it's very passive in cash, so I'm not sure.
With different hand classes it is. I mean. What size you want, what size you want check raise? Essentially, I think the point, Artur, is that in cash, a
Mhm.
pair is worth less at 100 big blinds than it is at 30 or 40 big blinds, is the
Yeah,
takeaway.
so what I notice is like check raises are huge and like overall lines are very passive. But like check raises are huge and we do like a lot of small re-raises.
Yeah.
Like 5x free bet and you do like 5x free bet.
We could try check raise. Do you want to try check
Yeah, we
raise?
can call, like this is very safe to call.
Yeah, so it's just that, it's about reverse implied odds, right? You don't want to go broke and lose 100 bigs with your 9 with a good kicker. If he has 7s, which is in his range, he has 5s, which is in his range,
He has
he
overpairs.
has 9s.
Yeah.
He's the final combo of 9s, so. It is more
100%
defensive play.
call there.
But-
100% call.
Yeah, it was 100% call. But that would translate to tournaments as well, once you're above 100 big blinds. Those same theories apply.
Yeah, that's clear basically. I just want to get some theory.
Okay, what did John do here? You have a,
We have some leads, but not with this hand. Very little leads.
check, and you're gonna win. He's not gonna bluff. Another one?
Call. Call.
Yeah, okay, call. Yeah, I was hesitating because I thought we got some folds here.
Hmm.
Question is, which ones do we fold?
But like queen jack pure. Is it? Yeah, okay.
So we don't want to block his FDs, is my argument here. Does that sound right to you guys? Like,
Yeah.
so our second pair is worth more when he takes this line if we are unblocking his FDs.
Oh, because we have the king of spades.
So we're blocking his flush draws, which continue using this line at a high frequency and solve our land.
And when the ace gets there, it's a lot better for button.
I, the jury's kind of out, but I think the argument is that, he has better aces, right? Because he has ace, king, and ace, queen. And ace jack suited, which we don't have. We have lesser aces. What would you like to do now, Artur?
Yeah, check. Ah. Okay.
You're gonna win a lot here. WP, another one? You're on a winning
Yeah.
streak. I'm sure you
Yeah.
want to do another one.
Okay, let's go.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, call. I think we are too high to fold.
So I think here. What do you guys think? What is the, what do the folks think here?
Okay, so he bet the flop and now he's betting the turn again,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I don't like that. I really don't like that.
So I think a principle that's important, you might have calls here because it's paired aces, which reduces his frequency of ace X. But I'm of the opinion that you're gonna fold here at a high frequency. And I think the problem with this hand is that it can't improve. I think we call flop. Well, it can. It has 2 outs. But
Yeah, like
we called flop because we had a backdoor straight, which gave us enough equity to call. But now, obviously this, well, no, we didn't. Never mind. That's stupid. Forget it. I just don't think we call here.
I think it's
But,
close.
they have like more overpairs, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. But we
The
might
que-
call. I
the
mean,
question-
we're gonna try. Oh, I'm wrong.
The question
Yeah.
is though, like the overpairs skate, you bring those up, like, yes, they do have overpairs, but I'm not sure that the overpairs, I think that this board C bets at a very high frequency for button, but I don't think it's a range bet flop for them. And so on this line of bet, we call flop, like the question is, do they have like kings through sevens,
Oh, I
right?
see. Like, their line would be probably like bet check with those kind of hands mostly.
Like they would,
instead of bet
I would
bet.
assume those hands would want to do checking because
Yeah.
we defend big blind with a lot of ace X, so we definitely have a lot of ace X
That's
in
true.
the big blind range here. So I think, Larry, check the button node in the flop. Yeah, I think we're gonna see like sevens through kings checking.
That's
is my
pretty
my
interesting.
thought process. Oh no, so this is interesting. The ace X is just too good for us. The double ace. So range bet. Okay, so I was wrong about that.
Yeah, this is interesting. So we got up here to the top, which is 90% equity, and this is
Mhm.
our shared aces, right?
But I think, okay, so now in this vein, if they're going to range bet here, when they get to turn and they've been called, I think they got to have a high check frequency now.
So I guess the first point is if you look at the linear equity graph, I mean, we do have, like, who's got trips more?
Yeah, they have more.
Them.
They have more trips. And again, talking about this upper region, right?
Mhm.
We have this upper region which we don't possess. Um,
True.
we just have more. We have trips. We have 38 combos. They have 80. So they've got a, yeah, so I think that's what's driving this range bet. Okay, and what was the second question?
So now
Oh.
if you go over and look at the turn frequencies, I think you're
Check,
going to see a lot
call,
of
turn,
checking
check.
in the button. Like they're going to have pretty robust check frequency now that they get called, right?
Yeah, they check half the time.
Interesting to see like how the sevens through the jacks, like they're betting more as like lower and then it tails off because presumably the sevens, eights, nines, tens need more protection, I guess, would be my thought process.
Yeah, I think we see this often. In slow boards where the higher the pair, the less the betting, because there's less requirement for protection.
Yep. Mhm.
But, and I guess it repeats on a trip board for, the same that pattern. I'm
So, and then,
not a double ace board, as I should say.
yeah. So now hit the clear the filter, Larry, so we can kind of see the button range here. So yeah, and if you filter it, what's betting? No, I was just like, so
Oh,
we have to
poker,
call.
geeky poker humor. Okay, sorry.
We're calling with the eights. It's interesting. So I mean, we're just I guess we beat sevens and
Oh, you want, okay,
blocks
so
with
let's see this P70. You want to know what big blind range is, right?
yeah, essentially.
Yeah, so this surprises me. So why don't we dig into why we're calling here and try to figure it out? First place to start is equity, right? So what's our perceived equity with these under pair? So we're being offered pot odds of 30%. And our perceived equity is 45%. So that makes an easy call in theory. I mean, the only answer that I have is that repeat aces just reduces his frequency of ace X. If anybody else has any other theories around this, I'm happy to hear them.
Well, I mean, go back to buttons range. Like we're calling with 6x too. So I mean,
Well, sixes is a set. It's
I mean,
below.
no, I mean, I'm saying we're calling with a lot of our 6x as well. Our
Oh,
best
sorry.
6x.
Okay.
So essentially,
Yeah, so you want to, so we want to talk about how they interact, right?
mhm.
So we want to look at what he's betting and how that interacts with our range. So let's look at what he's betting. So, well, let's just focus on this one size, which is which is is third lowest frequency bet size. So if we look at this and then we go down here. And this is over his entire range, not this just filter. So he's, he has got some substantial trash weak hands that were head up in this range. Right. So that's the only way maybe I can think of it is that
Yeah.
he's got enough. Well, we know that's true, I guess, because of this is a range bet, right? So that we know this is a range bet here. Solver knows
Mhm.
it's a range bet.
Right.
He's betting with every single combo. So we probably have a very high calling frequency here. You don't call half the time, raise a lot. Turn is a 5, which is kind of inconsequential. We check, and then he still has his entire range. Yeah, I think that's it. He has his entire range here. Because he bet everything. He bet
Yeah.
100%. He bet 90% of range. No, sorry, he bet 98% of range. So because of that, we know he's a range bet. So when we get here and he bets again, we're going to have a robust calling range because he range bet flop. And the 5 is pretty inconsequential. That's my theory and I'm sticking with it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think and again, I think questions to think about are guys range betting the double ace board? Maybe, I'm not sure. I would probably
Yeah,
bet at high frequency. I would probably not really be inclined with some of my great pocket pairs. I don't know that I would love to do that, but
yeah. My answer would be no. Humans are not going to intuitively know this is a pure range bet. Including quads.
yeah, and like when you're playing, a guy that flops trips on this board, does he have the discipline playing in the blinds to just check call? I mean, I think that this is like kind of a spot that you can exploit.
Yeah, we are check
in live
calling
poker.
our trip selecting.
But in human land, do humans make trips here and think, I better go slow? I think maybe on this less, like it's not very dynamic. If it were two-tone, maybe you might see more guys that are afraid of flush draws type stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of an interesting one.
Yeah, interesting hand. We're not quite through because
Yeah.
Artur, sorry, you have successfully found the call.
Yeah.
And now what would you like to do?
Check.
WP.
WP, sir.
Winner.
Well played.
Chicken dinner, congratulations. All right, one more, Artur.
Yeah. Turkey just won versus Georgia. 3-1. They just scored like 10 seconds ago a goal.
Really?
Oh, nice. Are you playing? Is it friendly for Lithuania?
No, I'm just watching football. Euro
Okay.
2024.
Okay.
Here we
Well,
let's stop one.
Well, that's a more important subject. Who are you supporting?
Oh, here no one. I just watch like I bet on Turkey. So
How much?
Anyway.
How much?
You put a bet down on Turkey. Oh, they just scored in the
50?
98th minute
it's over.
against Georgia.
It doesn't matter. The bet was like tiny. It was like for fun.
Ah,
So you're gonna buy us all GTA Wizard next month, right?
Yeah. So 5-7 is tricky one. I don't know. We use this as a bluff when flush completes, but I don't know if it's good. I don't
Um,
know.
I think it's a fold because some of your outs are dirty.
Yeah, I agree.
You do get some check raises, 23% of the time. So your gut thought on check raising. Let's see if we. I would guess that
Need more equity.
look how much we're check. We are shoving the gutter.
Well, it's
Back door.
double gutty. It's a double gutter, so that's kind of nice.
That's a good point. It's double gutter. Yeah, it is double gutter. You're right.
With the draw.
Uh, yeah, I'm getting after it. All right. Why don't we do this? Let's switch. Let's turn the tide. Let's turn the tables. Whatever. Let's go to the other part of the sorry, P button. Yeah, yeah. Let's go to the other side of this equation and play the button. But we've been going for 2 hours, so let's take a break. Do you guys want to get back together top of the hour? I need to have my eyes look beyond just a screen for a couple of minutes. So take a
Yeah.
break, come back together in 5 minutes,
Yep,
Sounds good.
Making an espresso.
For sure.
and make an espresso. What a good idea. Maybe I'll make a coffee.
I'll take
All
a
right, I'm
cappuccino.
in. I'm making a coffee. You've inspired me.
Okay.
Alright, gents. Anybody out there? It's not if you can hear me.
Is there anyone at home?
Oh, yeah. Stay on. Alright, so let's turn the tables, guys. We're now the aggressor. I'll take the first couple. So just to reiterate, for YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, we're thousands of listeners. This probably will be one of our most viral videos. Do our riveting and spot on GTR trainer play. Please like and subscribe. So just to reiterate, flop, big blind checks. We are now in position playing as the aggressor. We B33, big blind calls, we get the turn. Big blind checks, what do you hear? I will take the first couple. And I think this is a check. We've got a marginal hand which just got downgraded. Yeah. Our open ender just got downgraded too. So we check. This is an interesting spot. So we've got straight, we got check two, but there's a flush on board. We know big blind has more flushes, but I think this is too far up in the range for us not to value that.
I kind of agree. I mean, I'm not sure if a trainer does check some portion of their flushes on the turn, but yeah, our hand is too good to want to check back, so I bet as well.
Yeah, I think we, obviously we'd like to have a blocker to the flush, but
Yeah,
and to answer your question, I mean, solver will have traps. It low frequency, but we've got to make a decision if they should. Yeah, we got to bet. But we're not betting crazy, because there's flush on board. Let's see. Let's answer that question. So the question becomes here on turn. How often does it not check raise its flush? The question is flush. So, well, okay, the first thing is that this is turn. It does donk its flush a lot, right? That's the first thing we see.
yeah.
This is a donk because it's out of position. So when it checks, and we beat 75 here. How much? Okay, so now the other question is, how much does solver trap its flush?
I
Well,
imagine if
just
they're
the flushes.
trapping, it's going to be the among the best flushes they're trapping because of the four liner. If they four line with the worst flush, they're going to be in hell.
They're also trapping the straight flush draws. What about the king nine? Look, it's trapping the straight flush draws at high freak, and it's ace high. It's trapping. Like up here, it's trapping a lot. I think it doesn't like blocking a lot of your flushes with its best flushes.
Yeah.
But then down here, it's not. So anyway,
Okay.
so to answer your question, clear. I mean, this is my question. And it calls. There's the nine of clubs. At this node, after it called twice, out of position called twice. At this node, how much is a portion of the range? And the answer is here. It's 13% of its range. You add all these numbers up, and that's still 100%. This is the entire range. 13% of the time, it gets here with a flush. And
which
then
is
unless
not,
your amount of time it continues to trap.
it's not much, right? Not often.
Yeah, it's not often. And so it's not often enough that we are still going to value bet our straights. Now the question becomes, where is our, we're always playing the flushes, obviously. Where is our value threshold for betting? So our value, so this is the city graph showing all of our combos in a horizontal graph from biggest equity up here, which is ace-6 of spades, all the way down to the bottom, which is pair of threes. Pair of threes have 0 equity. So where is our value threshold that we can value bet? And the answer is kings. We check back kings a lot, but if we do bet a king, we want to block the flush. And this is weird stuff. This is like, oh, this is straight. This is straight with a flush blocker. Okay, so next hand. This repeat 9 is interesting because we've got a gutter, right? And we didn't improve. I don't know what to do here. I'm gonna B75 this. No, I'm not gonna YOLO this. I'm gonna YOLO this. I'm gonna B125.
Think so?
Sometimes. But we are, the big thing is that we are bluffing here. We are continuing our lying ways, our deceptive lying ways at high frequency here. Some people think that part of the portion of why some people like poker is because it's the only avenue in which you can lie and it's accepted. It's a good thing. All right, so we overbet and we generate the fold. We like that. He's out. We folded out a better hand. Life is good. You know, we would have gotten it. All right,
Yeah.
another one for me. All right, so this is interesting. We turned a shit ton of equity. We have a main hand, right? We turned a gutter, a straight flush gutter, and flush draw, and I don't really want him to fold that much. I don't know. So Sutton was making some really good points before about, well, our hand's got a shit ton of equity. We really want to go to the pot. I think he's got a really good point. I may lean more towards a smaller sizing, wanting to keep people in here too much. I'm not really sure who's better. I'm gonna overbet. No, we want to, yeah, this is so good. We wanted to check it back. I think it's so good we want to check it.
It just has a lot of value, like on its own. I think we have to be careful here. Like,
Yeah,
we want to pour money in here, but this is not. We don't really want to turn it into a bluff, right?
Is it kicker driven?
Yeah, I mean, we have marginal showdown value, and we do want to have some flush draws that check back on turn here, and this one makes for good sense. And we can still play, like we have it makes river play easy, right? Like if this goes check on the turn, they bet, we have an easy call. Like, you know, it's a spot that induces them to stab. It looks like we don't have an ace, so they can think, oh, that we can pick this up.
I thought we might have big sizing here too, because
Do we? I
we
think
can
we
call
did.
any check raise. I think we can call a shove
Yeah.
with this. So if we call, if we do, what
Oh, we got a
sizes are
gutter
we
too.
allowed? What
I think
sizes
we-
does solver use here? Solver uses, it's just the biggest, it does use a B75 low freak. So let's say we B75 here. I'm just focusing on this combo.
Mhm.
But first I want to look at something else. I want to look at where this falls. You know, yeah, it's up here. I
Yeah.
think. 79, it's right there.
That-
So anyway, if we B75 this, I'm just curious. Is he have shins? No. Do it 29. What do we do with this? Okay, we never use that size. So we just call it. Anyway. I'm sorry, was someone saying something? Because
All,
I was
all
on
I
my,
all I had said was I think that it has marginal showdown value as an ace. With the ace,
yeah,
and so we don't need to turn this particular hand
we
into a
don't,
bluff, essentially.
yeah, but what about our our nutted draw 2 dimensions?
Yeah, I think that
Straight
takes a
flush
back
is
seat here.
probably good.
I think it takes a back
Yeah.
seat here because we can also like we are in position here, and so
80% of a straight flush draw.
he potentially also has like a good density of diamonds that are going to be worse. So we can see opportunities to make the pot bigger on the diamond river.
Yeah,
I think this just as a hand class check makes life a lot easier.
okay, I can see your point.
Yeah.
I mean, you can you can see you can see the argument, right? Like Solver's sees the same thing we're seeing. Like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
like this is so nice, right? Um,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think Jonathan Little talks about when you get in these spots that your marginal showdown pair drives your decision more often.
Exactly. That's exactly what he says. One thing
Uh,
that I have a question about, though,
Yeah, sure.
is we've seen sometimes when they're betting their flush draw on a paired board or betting their straight on a flush board. Sometimes we're seeing the solver do that. Like I usually don't do that. I'm wondering if I should add that to my game.
So
Go ahead, Jen.
no, I have seen a couple of these spots lately, Derek. I think one of the things that you want to be very careful about is your sizing decision in those spots. I think that it's a spot where, especially in real life, you know, if you size too big in those spots, you are just lighting money on fire because you're reducing your opponent's range only to those nutted combos that are beating you.
Yeah.
Whereas
flushes are-
if you choose the smaller sizing, you enable them to continue with that wider range. So if you have, I don't know, what happened the other day? I can't remember. I think I flopped a set and it ran out with some sort of scariness, but there was like a clear top pair combo that I thought this guy would never fold and used like a B33, and sure enough, he called. And like, so you just have to be very careful with your bet sizing, I think would be my in real life suggestion there.
So you can happily raise fold
Right.
your flush draw when there's board is pair, or raise fold your straight draw when it's flushable. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
I think you got to be kind of
Yeah.
careful about the spot, but yeah, I think you need to be attentive to your bet sizing in those positions.
Because you can say, "Oh, I fully acknowledge that I can be blowing off the hand here."
Mhm. And most of the time when guys, especially on later streets, are putting in a raise, like it's just not a bluff for against most humans.
Yeah, agreed. Humans are unbalanced with the check raise.
Because I've been playing like not betting my straight draw when there's a flush possibility, or not betting my flush draw when the board's paired, or stuff like that. So
Yeah, I mean. It's all, I mean, it's range, it's very dependent upon the texture.
yeah,
I mean, who is that repeat card on turn better for? So, okay, so we get 2 pair. This is too far up in range. Not to value bet. Pay me. Pay this man his money
Oh,
with your hero call.
oh,
Alright, I'll do one more and I'll pass it on to one of you guys. Hmm. Are we so far down in music? Not give up. Hand has 0 equity. This card feels good for us. We're blocking their continues, right? We're blocking their continues around the flush. Blocking, like, I'm gonna yellow this. Well, I could have. I just went a little bit too big. But this is a high frequency give up. And now we're totally screwed. And we're never gonna even know we have. Oh, we do win. Poker gods, please be this nice to me. Game tonight as opposed to some. All right, that was 3 for me. Does anybody want to battle the bot?
Sure.
All
Unless
right,
someone else
Derek, you're
does.
on, man. This is your hand. This is your time. Good luck. I'm sorry we gave you such a shitty.
Okay, so we bet pre, right? And then we bet the flop, and now we're at the turn.
Yeah,
they check
yeah.
to
So
us.
we bet B33 on flop. Big blind calls. I'm gonna see my cursor. We get the turn. Big blind checks. And now it's on you.
Well, we have fuck all here, so we do the fuck all thing and check.
You can do anything. You can do anything.
Oh, I'm very bad.
Your hand is so terrible, you can do anything you want.
I think it's kind of nice. Like one of the things that is nice about this, I think, is that it unblocks hearts, which is kind of
It
nice. Like,
unblocks hearts.
yeah, I mean, because like that's just going to be. I think. I don't know
I
for
see your
sure, but
point. Well, let's look. We'll look at this. So unblocking hearts means you're unblocking his backdoor, which is gonna give up.
yeah,
We'll look at that. So this obviously this is deep solver. Going deep solver, guys, but you know, we are playing solver, so it makes sense to understand the mechanics. Button king 4, right?
wait, King Deuce,
Sorry.
or no, King 3. I'm sorry, King 3, King 3, King 3. Sorry.
Yeah, diamonds.
And we had
Yeah.
the diamonds, right?
Okay.
Or we had.
You're the diamonds.
We've got the smorgasbord of everything.
Yeah, we like that. So doesn't matter. But that's you know deep level. So yeah, giving up is fine here. King high wins a sliver of the time. What do you want to do now?
We have a king high.
You do. You have king high, and he is like B60.
We fold here. He's betting half pot.
All right, that was your first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got an ace.
Okay. We have a shitty flush draw. So we check.
Do anything. Checking's fine. I mean, this is just you know,
Preferred things to bet.
you're getting very cuspy hands. Yeah.
Hmm?
You're getting very cuspy hands in the sense that the strategy allows you to do anything. Checking is fine. All right, now you got to decide if your king high is good enough for showdown, and decide
We're checking it
what
back.
part of his range does check. Sorry, go ahead.
Like, will he call us with a worse king? I don't think so. So we're checking this.
We wanna
Oh,
be-
0.
Yeah, we want to buff this.
We want to bluff here. Okay, okay. This is I'm so
We want to bluff and lose. All right, so
so we have basically nothing, so we're bluffing. Is that what?
well, let's make sure. Well, this is not a value bet. I'll tell you that. The king eight, right? So I hope this works. I like this little trick. Works. King eight, breakdown. It's right here. So it's got 1% equity.
So this is what we use to bluff 130%.
Yeah, king eight. It's got 0.3 equity, so it's really far down here. But your
Like-
combo was bluffing at a higher frequency than we see here. But this is kind of a weird city graph. Does everybody understand how the city graph works? Am I the only one who finds this a useful tool? I like this tool because it very nicely lays out
So we're
the
bluffing
entire
with our-
range.
we're
in a
raising
graphical
bluffs with our shit, is what this graph says. Right?
Yeah, what this graph does is it very nicely visually represents where your bluffs are coming from
So we're polarized.
when measured by equity.
We're
So you can
polarized.
see
to
down here,
shit.
hands that have no equity are gonna bluff at a high frequency. Well, at some frequency. And then
Uh,
you also get to very quickly understand where your value threshold is on this,
Yeah,
you know,
I
this
guess I'm-
texture.
I see
So
that.
you need
like,
80% equity to essentially to value bet on this paired board with a flush draw.
and look at the big bets, right? The 300 or 130%.
Yeah, the overbet at
Bets.
12.
Like they peak around the 90%,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then they fall off a bit for the 100%.
true. So you can see the equity down here in the lower right hand corner here. Right? And if when you move up, you could see right, yeah, around 85%, 80, 88. And but then the interesting thing for me is that, okay, well, let's go look at our bluffs. We're gonna match our value to a bluff, so we're gonna have some overbets here.
With our
B132
terrible
with
stuff.
absolute shit.
Yeah.
With our busted no equity straight draws.
We
But I-
totally.
Go ahead,
Yeah.
Derek. Go ahead, Sutton.
No, I was just thinking like in theory, we are bluffing same size and value betting with the same size. But I think that and this is another hungry horse thing that I've been consuming lately. I don't think you really ever want to bluff with the big sizing in this situation.
Are you French, by the way?
Me? No.
Because you are eating a lot of horse meat. That's my only joke for the day. Thank you, guys. I'm here all week. Please tip your waitresses. Okay, sorry. So
But if
I
you
interrupted a very good point you were making, which is
If-
that
if you bet here with a big sizing, or like if you bet with this big sizing and you are bluffing, I don't think that you get much of his range to fold here. Like if he has an ace, he's going to call. If he has a flush, he's going to call. So you can bet that big sizing and lose every time you're bluffing. Or you can bet with a smaller sizing and you probably pick it up an awful lot. And you like, so imagine he has Jack 10 with the 10 of spades or some such thing, or Queen Jack. And like, he sees this run out. Our line's kind of fishy with bet, check, bet, but he's not really all that excited about this. Or let's say he has like pocket eights or pocket nines or pocket sevens or pocket fives. We don't really have to bet that much. And he'll just fold if we're bluffing. And so I think we want to go small here with bluffs and then just like bomb it if we ever have a flush or 4x, right?
Yeah, I
Uh,
think you have a good point. I think that that is one. I mean, we talked about this a little bit before, but for everyone else that's here, I think this is one divergence against humans versus humans that makes sense, right? In the perfectly balanced equilibrium world that we see here in Solver, you just don't necessarily have to do against humans. I think Marcoon, i.e. Ugly Horse, has a really good point here. I mean, let's invest less money on river and target his auto folds. Especially when his top pairs against humans probably are inelastic, right? So let's give an example here. So let's B132 and see
Mhm.
what his calling range is. Okay, let's go to filters. Okay, this doesn't really make my point, but I was thinking he would fold some top pairs. So forget my points.
Yeah, I don't think he's like on the bet check bet line, he's just never gonna fold the top pair, right? So if you have
Yeah.
better than top pair, like go for it, man.
Yeah.
But if you're bluffing, not even worth it. Like you can accomplish, like, look at these folds here. You can accomplish these folds with the weaker jacks probably with less than the B132, right?
Yeah. I think Hungry Horse has a good idea. I think he's speaking the truth about how to adjust your game versus humans. And as he likes to say, balance lulls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, one more deck.
Yep. Yep. Queen 8.
Got the wrap, sir.
We got
Looks like the
the
wrap
nut.
to me.
No, we're in this thing.
This is more than the wrap. This is like you have gut shot. You have straight. You got a great hand. What you gonna do?
I'm gonna bet it. I'd say I like betting 75.
Anybody gonna argue for any different sizing?
I chose B75, but I wonder about this.
Yeah, I feel like when I look at this, I'm like, well, it's big blind, so his range is super wide. So maybe we do use P75 because he has stuff like 9, 6, either.
I mean,
That
there's
calls it
just,
P75 or 10, 8. Well, that's a straight.
I don't know. I think like on the 4-liner, I think we got to be a little bit smaller.
Okay, I think, yeah. Okay,
Whoa,
we're
what the-
everywhere. We're
whoa.
B250 this. See, my gut was telling we get to go big because he's got a lot that can call on this texture
Yeah, this is really
and
interesting.
withstand a big size. I wouldn't have gone these sizes. Because I don't use them enough, but a lesson for us all.
Well, it's just like there's so many 2-pair combinations that he could have here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Oh man.
But you're targeting a different part of range. So let's see if you were to guess your equity here. I'm gonna guess your equity is 95.
It's gonna be a lot.
With the queen 8 diamonds. No, 82%. Still a lot. So this size is fine, Derek.
But they like the big size.
The
It
massive
used the big
size.
size a lot. And I think the argument was that um there's a lot of hands that have to call in his range. So his range in big blind on this texture, he has a lot of hands that can withstand this big size. You're not using it a lot. Look at this.
No, back it
No,
up
no,
one.
you're not wrong. Wrong part of the tree. Yeah, you're using it a lot, using it 13%. It's a very polarized range, right? I don't know if it is polarized. Oh, well, let's just look at it. We have a tool. It's an interesting range because you've got these spots of checking. But, this definitely, let's look at all your straights on the 4 line. And you are choosing tons of different sizing. Queen 8 is interesting because it's in there. And then the uber nuts are using the big size. All right, who hasn't gone yet? Who's still here enjoying all this high quality content?
I can,
Want to take a
I
couple?
can, sure.
I'll go next.
All right, flush completes. We have second nut flush here. I think, so I'm just trying to envision for myself. Certainly big blind could have, they have a high density of flushes in their range, a lot of suited combos. They also have a high density of ace-x in their range. So this board is pretty good in that sense. It also, this board kind of limits their ace-x availability for the straights or for the flush, because a lot of their suited ace is going to be like ace-9 suited and lower. And so we have the 9, the 8, and the 4 out there, which sort of limits those combos.
That's right, yeah, you can see that.
The king X is kind of similarly limited. That said, I think that this is strong enough for us to bet. I don't think that we go massive. I think we go B75.
Yeah,
Oh, check. Okay.
I think this is about the check raise. We don't want the check raise here.
We don't want to get check raised. I agree with that.
All right, we'll give you a check.
Yeah.
It's going to make this easier to play too, I think. Okay, so I think that kind of eliminates a lot of spades flushes in the big blind range now when it goes like this. And so I think like the question is around how much an ace will pay here. Oh wait, I thought for some reason I thought we had turned the flush. That was not smart. That was not smart.
But wishful thinking is
Yeah, wishful thinking. All right, so so we check. We check here. Sorry. Yeah. For some reason I thought that we turned the flush. I don't know what I was going through my head there.
we all do it. Okay, so speaking of turning, you just turned second pair. And the flush came in.
Well, we bet small. This card comes in. We cannot bet here. We have to check back. We could still be ahead of hands like 7s, 8s, 9s, 5s. Yeah, check here.
Check.
The 10 rolls in here. Oh, all right. Fold.
Whoa. Now this is where, so I think this is a fold against humans.
This is a fold against
Let's-
demons every day.
Let's try to understand what qualities of this hand are resulting in solver playing this.
I mean,
So we have queen, jack, clubs. We're calling all our second pair here. So let's begin this. by looking at,
Well,
so
mean,
this
we-
is, so there's some quality about the queen and jack that likes, because it's folding ace. So,
yeah, it's all the queen. Yeah, I don't know.
so let's just start with the fundamentals here. Your pot odds are shit high, right? Your pot odds are 42%. Your perceived equity just is over that line. It's 47, but that doesn't matter to the ace queen, which is folding. Even though it's 45%. All right, so so the only answer is that well, there's many answers. It's not that good. One idea is that he has in solver an incredibly significant amount of bluffs that we're unblocking. Do we have nut blockers? So let's just go through what we can get. Forget it is under over bluffing. Doesn't matter. This is solver. And we can go right to the blocker question. And so the blockers here, he's telling us right here, we don't have a high value number. And we are unlocking trash. So maybe unlocking trash. See what kind of EV it is. Well, it's not significant, but certainly there. Now the only question is, how does it interact with big blind? So big blind is using, we use this size, right? Which it uses a lot. And then are we unblocking his trash? Yes. So big bets, trash. Well, we are a little bit, because it's in this region, Jack four's in it. So I don't know. I don't know why this is a hero call. I have not come to an easy conclusion. Anybody else have any thoughts?
Yeah, in game just fold this.
Okay, yeah, there's that. All right, next one. Next.
Oh, and well, there you go. That was the hand that had the high frequency.
Yeah, down this region, the ace 8 off.
Oh, so we got the monotone board here. We
Its
bet.
own
We got,
separate animal, which you bet on.
yeah. Yeah. So weird. Turn did not help us. Feel it is unlikely. I think that we should just check back here. I think it's check
I'm
back.
thinking check back. You've got a sliver of showdown.
And we don't want to get, like, if we bet here and get raised, man, we feel stupid.
We got a call, but yeah, it's just
Yeah, a check. I think it's a check. Nope.
wants to bet this. It wants to go after it. This must be such an important. I think this is just an important blocker to this continue.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, because you have flushes that you want to bet, so you do have to bluff here at some point, I guess. And this was a nice one with the ace high blocker. For sure.
We're
And
not breaking solve,
mm,
and he hits you with a blocker. I got an idea.
you want to put the raise in here.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
we
then
block
that
the
doesn't make
nuts.
sense without check one, does it? One time.
I mean, I assume that we must check back in solver. There has to be some checkbacks with the nut
Nut
flush.
flush? Yes, absolutely.
So yeah, there is that 4-liner 2 skate. I it would be a brave thing to put in the raise. I think in real life I would just call it a day. Yeah.
We're getting it. We're getting after
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Let's just look at the ace of spades.
Look at it on turn too.
Turn jack, big blind, okay, ace of spades here. Classes down here in this region. Yeah, it just wants to, it just goes cray cray with the ace of spades.
Those weak ace spades.
Yeah, good point. Weak with the shitty picker. And then this is a pair.
Yeah.
And got a
Yeah. The
Um,
single.
ace of spades just, I mean, so. I think this is an important, this is pretty consistent on monotone boards, right? Where this ace of spades just really drives strat. Okay, and then what else do we want to look at here? We want to look at this.
And then
Oh, we
maybe at
want
the
to look at when
river.
our bluff raises. So here, question becomes trash hands. Raise, raise, raise. I just really like using. King of spades, jack of spades, king of
Interesting.
spades, half of spades, ace of spades. The ace of spades, I think, is the one, the easy one to. Like, I kind of, what would happen is I would just kind of put this onto this bucket. This bucket, like, I would ignore the king. I'd put it in this bucket.
Yeah, the thing is you're just supposed to use it. You just don't get like you're supposed to use those aces on the turn, those single spade aces. And so once you do, so now on the river, you just don't have them when you take the check line on the turn. So the best you
Yeah.
can do is block the king.
Ah, I see your point. Yeah, that's a good point. We lose a lot of our experience. We just don't have it higher frequency. We don't have it at all here.
Can you hover over the king jack combos there? Yeah, anytime you have a spade, you're just going for it. How about the I guess the king queen made a straight. The king queen O made a straight, and that's good enough for raising for value. Interesting.
All right,
That's
one
interesting.
more.
One more.
Two pairs, so. Two pair that's
Flop two
improved.
pair. All right, we're gonna be unafraid here of ace king. He could have worse
Sorry.
queen X. I think we want to bet here. B75. Oh, a lot of
I'm
checking.
surprised the checking frequency.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be. You do have like some worries about like 8-9,
So what's our
and
hand?
maybe king 9.
Yeah, hard to wrap. That bloody wrap. Um,
But it seems like those are just kind of like not that many combos
all
in
right,
the
so
scheme of
check.
things.
Here we are. What we've got queen 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
This must have a lot less equity. So let me try this. So up here. So it's right in this weird spot. Like right here.
Yeah.
Like it's got 75% equity. But through this entire range up until we're nutted with our ace king. We're just checking a lot. See, he never has this, right?
You shouldn't have ace king. You shouldn't have jacks, tens, or queens.
Yeah, I'm surprised the checking frequency. All right, he called you. Ends a paired board. Is this good enough to value bet? What do you think?
I would think that this would be, we haven't heard from, it seems like we would hear from a better hand at this point.
Okay. I can
Like,
see that.
I feel like if we were up against, I feel like it would be pretty disciplined player to have queen jack and not put in another bet on the turn.
Also, we're the only one with ace king. I think that gives you a certain
Yeah.
invincibility on a well, it's a paired board.
I mean, he has,
Like, he can't check raise you. You can't check raise both of you at a higher frequency because, or at less of a frequency, I think, because you do have ace king and he doesn't. You've got the,
Mhm.
this isn't, maybe it's true again on a paired board, but I think that gives you
And the
somewhat of another then.
the 4 seems quite good. Like if he ever slow played a set, the 4s is the only set that he could have. I think I'm gonna bet here, and I think I'm gonna go B84. If he has a queen here, he's gonna be inclined to call this off. I think. No, just
Well,
check. I mean,
this
I
is
would be
just-
thinking, yeah, interest. Okay.
Yeah, I would not, I would thought this was a bet for sure. I thought we had this kind of ace king invincibility. Let's just start this by understanding what's going on. Okay. So this feels nitty, doesn't it? Let's just look at hand classes. Start that. It's not good enough. Not good enough on this, on that second pair. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
it's because there's it's
the
not,
paired board.
maybe it's a paired board, does it?
But I mean, I don't know.
We still have top two. Doesn't change the fact we have top two.
Yeah.
And also this is weird. Okay, fine. So he has straights, but over pairs. YOLO it.
Well, the overpair is, I think, the problem with our particular combination is it does block the queens, which when you have the overpair, the queens are wide open to you. So now, and so, and if you, it's kind of hard to imagine that you get to queen 10 to this river, in this way. But if the player had queen 10 and you had the kings, they've counterfeited you.
Yeah,
Or the king jack. I mean, it's kind of hard to imagine that you didn't. It is a very dry flop texture, so you could see definitely in real life, people would be less inclined to check raise that flop against you. If they flopped a 2 pair or a set, they might
So
go slow.
the argument is that they have a stronger range that gets to them. And so
Yeah.
because of that, we can't value bet lower down.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. So our preferred sizing here across the range is massive, right?
Yeah, we're shoving a lot.
We're just shoving 400% pot. Oof.
What you're doing with our straights.
Full
Bucks.
houses.
Which, by the way, are pretty large component of our strat that plays this long. This is a weird one.
What's the city graph look like here? Yeah, it's just super polar.
Yeah, super polar, and here we are.
Yeah, queen jack.
Just like queen jack, ace queen. There we are, queen 10.
Yeah. Huh.
So we've got, I mean, so it's like, I feel like what this is showing us is that we've got a pretty sensitive value betting region. Because usually I think like in this region, like 75-70%
Mhm.
of perceived equity, we can value bet, but it's jacked it up here on this paired board with 3 goes straight. It's jacked it up to 80% as being threshold.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't feel good if I got check raised on this river. I mean, I think it would be a bet fold, but
Yeah, so
it's
I wonder if he has check. Let's say it's the most common size. Well, that's fine. It's a shove. It's a super polar strat. Great though. All right. Move on.
yep.
Almost out of time. By the way, does anybody have any marked hands that they're burning to show the group? I kind of forgot about those. Yeah. I hear quiet. So why don't we just finish off with a couple more of these? And then we'll leave all smarter and more well-informed.
Sounds good.
Sound good, guys?
Mhm.
So, Skate, do you want to go?
Sure.
All right, Skate. Skate, you're OG now. You've been coming to these for as long as I have. Since,
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
we
didn't
started
you
the
used to come to the ones at the very beginning where God's Big Toe and Crazy Sixes would bring up their own custom aggregate reports?
yeah, like right around like COVID,
Yeah, I was like during COVID, I guess, maybe. Yeah, you and I have been
Yeah.
coming to these for.
a little bit
Alright.
after, yeah.
All right, so, all right, so what happens when we do this? Not supposed to do. You called us for the 10. Well, you won. Let's just forget everything we just looked at theory, Sutton. You just won 60 big points. Okay, this is your hand. Skate. Last three are yours.
All right, we bet the flop. Let's go ahead and check the turn.
Okay.
If we
Yeah, I think there's a check. I think we
We
have a
do
sliver
bet.
slow down.
we bet small, if we do bet.
We mostly check, but we do lots of different shit. But this hand, this is you have another cuspy hand, but
Yeah.
checking is fine. Now, the question to ask yourself here is, in Solverland, do I have enough showdown to check back? Or do I need to bluff this?
I
Or
do
does this
think
somehow have some kind of qualities which Solver decides it doesn't like to bluff?
no. I mean, as played, we also risk getting check raised, and as played, we check the turn, so that's like one of the most bluffed lines in poker. So, yeah, king high is good enough to showdown. So I'm gonna check this.
We do like to bluff it, but you are right that this is one of the most bluffed lines.
Yep.
But Solver's gonna have, but less so in Solver, because Solver's gonna protect its checking range at some frequency on turn.
True.
So next one. And you're gonna get the fold anyway.
Yeah.
This looks like an open ender and a flush draw to me. You just turned equity. It's 4 actually.
Yeah. True.
This is a straight. I'm lying to you.
Well, yeah. Yeah. It is. Yeah.
I'm getting late in the day here.
Um.
You turned to straight.
Well, I think a straight is good enough to bet, so we can check and we can bet, but we kind of want him to get there in a sense. We're blocking the backdoor flush a lot, so it's gonna check. Check a small percentage at a time, and it's gonna bet between 50 and between 75 and 125.
Yeah,
Let's
I think
go.
D75 is probably what I would use here. Now,
Yeah, I
Sutton,
agree.
why can you not pull the big guns out here, right? Why is this not, why can't we pull out a B125? Maybe we can. Why would you not
I think
shoot a B125? Is our
I
hand too good?
mm, No, I mean, I just, the way I kind of think about it is the biggest sizing seems to come on the least dynamic turns.
Okay, I see your
The
point.
more the more the turn is dynamic, it seems from like what I see
Yeah, I see your
that
point.
you got to kind of chill it out a little bit.
So you got to
Um,
think about it as your entire range, not just your combo, right?
mhm.
So it's range versus range, not combo. You're thinking when you're playing in solver, you're thinking range versus range.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
so
mean,
solver also has straights that got that. So we have to think about range versus range.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, Solver definitely has, Jack nine here,
Yeah.
um, which can hurt us. I mean, we block that, but we have the redraw here. Oh man, it is. I super want to go bigger for sure, but I think B75 is the number.
Is the range versus range stuff.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
well
Yeah.
played, gentlemen. Now this is interesting. I mean, it's a good sign, I think, frankly, when we have conversations around size because we're not entirely sure, and it shows us that both are available.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mm.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
Last hand of the day. We're at top of the hour. And you've got ace king. And he called on the paired board. What are you doing, Skate?
Paired board. I'm gonna check.
I think you're playing this hand well. If this has showdown, I think you just have to try to get this to show.
Yeah.
This is your best non-paired.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah, we're gonna bluff from the bottom up. We're gonna check this.
very well done. Well played, sir.
Ah,
You.
So I think we're done for today. I think that was a productive session. What do you guys think?
that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Skate, were you gonna say something? I interrupted you? I'm sorry.
No.
Okay.
I did want to say, I apologize for, not last session, but last week. Yeah, I was trying to get to the mic. I wasn't fast enough to get to the mic. You guys were trying to call me out to say the happy ending speech.
Oh, okay. No worries.
Yeah.
Do you want to say it now?
Yeah, sure.
Go for it, man.
Well, boys and girls, that's going to conclude our study session for today. So, once again, thank you for joining us, and may the poker gods be with you all.
The poker gods.